Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. First carry for Devontae Booker. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
3rd and short, it's Booker. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Kyle Emanuel in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Keenum. Left side here to Sanders. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately that didn't work for him.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. The first down throw here for Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
0.
Throwing Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Rivers on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they'll pitch it out. This is Gordon. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here you go, man. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. And they run it here. Down to the 25. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Now Jones. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Melvin Ingram in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Keenum. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up 3rd down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to 3rd down and making a play there.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Out of the gun, Keenum. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's got a man complete. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas taking it in. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Here's Desmond King on the return. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Rivers. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the interception, here's Keenum. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Keenum now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. Now that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Keenum now to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A 2nd down carry for Booker. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Buying time to his left. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This Charger defense continuing to hold the line. Now it's a 3rd and goal situation. They'll try and run. Freeman. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And McManus able to put it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. He finds an opening past the 40, and he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rivers finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Load it! Load it! 12. Check. All right.
First down, Rivers. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Keenum. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That catch moves him over 100 yards now for this wild card game. And a first down as well. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. This is Booker on the dump off. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 6, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. The Broncos on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey. 4 down.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. On the end around, this is Thomas, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Marquette King now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Trying to lay one up deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Rivers on 2nd and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Down.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Freeman, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And McManus able to put it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Rivers now on second down. Gonna let this thing go deep for Gates. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Gates, the intended receiver there, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Rivers. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half, Rivers. He's airing it out for Williams. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. Spinning past him. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Rivers. Caught by Gates, left side. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, Can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Hey, Delta! Hey, hut!
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Rivers. Throw left side complete. That's Henry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On third down, Rivers. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Two big plays in succession, and the Chargers on the move. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Hey!
Now Gordon on first down. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, Delta!
They go play action here on first down. And this is caught at the 8. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They come out here in the eye. So on third and goal, Gordon. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time. So a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Keenum. And he whips one in there complete. That's Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Again, they'll run with Freeman. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. To throw is Keenum. And he finds Julius Thomas. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Throwing is Keenum. Thomas has got it, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Freeman. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On third down, it's Freeman. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They'll run here with Freeman. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. On third down, it's Freeman. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And McManus able to put it through. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
To return it now, here's King. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 27. A toss play, Gordon. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Darian Stewart there to bring him down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down.
Here you go, man.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I know you're thinking it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. To give you an idea of how sharp he's been in this game, just his second incompletion, and we're in the 4th quarter.
He has been locked in, laser focused all throughout this one, hasn't he?
Certainly has, and he's gotten some help from his receivers as well. They also are locked in.
Yeah, the drops have been at a bare minimum. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw, Keenan. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Keenan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now the pitch to Freeman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Freeman again. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 44 yards away. And McManus able to put it through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty. He's not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. And hang on here. Freeman shaken up. Remaining on the ground after that last play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll try the air now with Keenum. Got his man, it's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Julius Thomas from 3 yards out. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. McManus now for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. He spins free. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Rivers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A first down throw here for Rivers. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Rivers now from the 50. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Rivers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Williams. Powerful running. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.